Well, I'm a samurai now, so cool.
Yes, yes.
I had to pick this one too. It was, but it was nice that it was the most comfortable one.
Yeah.
What's the? So
it's a little hotter though because it's got the inner lining. So when you're training, you're gonna feel it's a little hotter, which is fine because you're sweating and cutting weight anyway. So it's actually good.
Yeah, it is.
It performs a little different because it has like the rash inner lining. It's almost like a rash guard on the inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same material.
Huh? What is it made? What is it made of? Like, what's the?
So
what's
it's 350 GSM pearl weave.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
That's just the quality. There's different cuts.
Okay.
We're talking about geese.
So the gi is the.
It's 350 GSM pearl weave pre-shrunk.
Okay.
So you don't ever want to put it in the dryer.
No.
You just wash it, hang dry it.
Okay.
Yeah. The pants I'm going to give you are cotton. They're not ripstop.
Okay.
I find with the cotton, you have more room for flexibility. The ripstop ripstop is pretty much what the BDU pants are made out of for like military.
Okay.
When you look closely at the fabric, you'll see that they have like the lines going across.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? No?
No.
Okay. People watching this will know. So there's a difference. With the ripstop, they don't stretch. They don't move.
Okay.
So more durable, will last a lot longer. But for me at least, when I compete, I feel very restricted in those pants because they don't flex. Whereas the cotton, they give you a flexibility. You don't feel so restricted.
Oh, okay.
So I prefer cotton over ripstop, but a lot of people prefer the other way.
Huh.
So I make both.
Why do they prefer the other way? Like when it's so you have
just durability and longevity.
Oh, okay. So they don't care about the movement too much. They're just like,
yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you compete in Jiu-Jitsu?
Yes.
Oh. Wait, further. What color of belt?
I'm a purple belt.
Purple.
Yeah.
Cool. How long does it take to get there? How does that work?
I mean, everybody's on their own individual journey, man. So I know for me, it's been about a little over 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a white belt. So I'll tell you my story. I started down in Coconut Creek, Florida at the headquarters of American Top Team. I trained there for about a year.
Okay.
You familiar?
The gym's no longer American Top Team, but that's where I started earlier this year was with them.
Yeah, we
Fantastic.
started to train because of her at Atlas.
It's now Atlas.
Atlas training team in Fort Lauderdale. They're great. They're absolutely great. Yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal. So I trained there for about a year. It was actually a little over a year. Professor Bruno Bernino.
Okay.
He was my first professor. A few other guys in there, Alton Barbosa, all top level black belts. Amazing. I relocated up north and for work purposes, and I joined under Renato Tavares Association.
Okay.
And under Renato Tavares, who is my master, I trained with one of his black belts for the last 6.5 years, and I just recently switched gyms. I was a white belt for 2.5 years, and I was a blue belt for almost 4 years.
Is that
and I've been a purple belt a little over a year now.
And then what's the
I think
next
that's
one?
the right math, right?
I don't know.
6.5, 7 years, yeah.
I'm not good at math.
Me neither. I was a cop.
I need to write it down.
We're not mathematicians. And now I switched over to another gym.
Okay.
It was just my time to move on. You know when it's your time.
How do you know?
You just know. You
were ready for.
I felt that.
challenge.
Yeah, I felt I wasn't progressing. I felt a whole bunch of feelings. So it was time for me to move, and it's actually one of my friend's gyms. He's pretty new. He opened up, I think he's going on his 2nd year, so he's still building.
Okay.
And at the time when I needed to make the decision to move gyms, I had options. I had quite a few options, but I narrowed it down to 2 options. And one gym was also a friend of mine, but he was bigger, more established, larger team. And my gym now, the reason why I made the decision is I felt I would be of more value. More white belts, more blue belts, so I'd be able to help them, help him, teach
Oh, okay.
and help the new guys come up.
So the way you
and
felt
help to build the team.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so the way you felt like you would provide more value, it was not even for you to improve like you wanted to improve as a teacher so you could improve.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct. So that was my deciding factor. Where am I going to be of more value, and where am I going to be happier? So.
Oh, okay. So you kind of shifted in the way you were seeing yourself, like you mean in more like a teacher kind of.
Well, I am a teacher. I've been a teacher for years. So, but we'll get into that. But yeah, so, and in jiu-jitsu, you are a teacher.
Yeah.
So, and you're gonna notice that as you progress through your journey, every new person that comes in or every role that you have with somebody, you're always learning from each other, and you're always teaching each other. So not only are you the student, but you are the professor, and this is the beautiful thing about it.
That's cool. I didn't see it that way. I was just so like caught in what I need to do right now because like, I know nothing.
Yeah, you're just getting smashed right now, probably.
I don't.
Just getting your ass beat every which way you look. It's normal.
I'm too new that I don't even roll.
Yeah.
Because I need to get to 10 class.
Oh, okay. So they put you to 10 classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, before rolling. So that's good.
Some do
I like
10,
it.
some do 3. Yeah.
I like the 10 because I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good because I need the base.
So once you start rolling, you're gonna get your ass beat.
Of course, yeah, I
And
figured.
it's gonna be like that for close to a year.
Nice.
So most people don't make it. Most people quit.
So far, it's nice. I don't know. It's cool. I bought some boxing gloves.
We're definitely the 1%ers, man.
I don't know about that. Because I bought some boxing glove yesterday, and I was so happy about the fucking. I didn't even pay for it. They gave me credit. I forgot my wallet because I was like, I went to the thing and I forgot to buy the gloves, and I was like, oh shit, I need to buy the gloves. And then so they had some pair over there. I wanted to buy it from there anyway. So but I didn't have my wallet. So. But they gave me the credit, and it was cool. But I was super happy. All class, I was like, "Oh, look at my new gloves."
So you're doing kickboxing and jiu-jitsu?
No, so we did. I can go on Monday, and I think Monday is boxing and jiu-jitsu with gi, and Tuesday is Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu no gi. But it's cool. It's cool because I can do Muay Thai at 6:30, and then the beginner class for Jiu-Jitsu is right after
7:30.
Yeah, so 7:45. So I get there and I can do both.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that's cool. So I feel like I learn a little bit faster that way, but it's nice to do. Like it's a good workout too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You don't want to fuck with anybody after that. You're like, it's cool, man.
Yeah. So I started doing MMA and kickboxing,
Okay.
and when I joined American Top Team, for the unlimited monthly fee, you get the kimono, you get the gi, right? And I was like, whatever, I wasn't really even interested in jiu-jitsu. I just wanted to fight. So I was doing MMA, I was doing kickboxing, and every night that I would leave, I would walk by the mats and I'd see everybody kind of rolling around. And, at that time, my ego was like, I was in my head thinking that I was the baddest thing around and that,
Every guy tends to. Do that,
we think that, right? So, and I can fuck anybody up, and I'm like, what are these fucking people doing, rolling around on the mat with each other? I was so like naive to it,
Bunch of pussies.
Yeah, like, shit seems weak, but this is how I thought, man. And looking back on it, I was like, man, unbelievable. But so one night I decided, let me try this. Let me see what this is about.
Okay.
Because it seemed like everybody was always smiling. They were always happy, right? Even though they were sweating, they were getting a good workout. So that night I put the gi on, stepped on the mat, and the professor knew right away. He saw my ego. He saw that. He's like, all right.
They know, right?
Yeah, he knew. He's like, we're gonna put this guy in check. So he's like, you go with him, and him was like 135 pounds, like 25 years old, and he beat the shit out of me.
So much smaller than you are.
Yeah, and at that time, like right now, I'm 185, but at that time I was big. I was like 228.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Okay.
I was big. So
And then how tall are you?
Not huge, but I was I was pretty stocky. I'm 5'9".
It's okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I was much bigger than this kid.
Yeah.
And he beat the shit out of me. He made me tap probably 6 times. We get up. We end that roll. He's like, all right, now you go with her. Girl. She choked me out. Wrist locked me. Arm barred me. Triangled me. And, you know, I was immediately humbled, man. Immediately humbled. And from that day, I have not stopped training jiu-jitsu.
It's wild, huh?
I have not stopped. And my ego, gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the last line of defense. Like, it's cool. Because, all right, so I don't know if it's like this for you, but for me, it's like this. I always played football. I was a little bit bigger than everyone, and I always was a little bit cocky. But you know, like I learned after a while that, you know, if you're too cocky, then people don't like you. So you got to be nice too. Like, even so, and I never was afraid of, you know, anybody, or because I don't want to fight. Like, you're not gonna have a problem with me, right? So like,
Right.
unless you hit me, we don't have a problem.
Right.
So I never was worried about that. But then lately, I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to know a little bit more than nothing, so I can, you know, even so if something happens at some point, I want to be able to do something about it. You know, so I decided to start training, and she was training at that gym, so I was like, cool, let me just, you want to do that? Okay, cool. I wanted to do this too, and then that was just a cool motivation to start. And started 2 weeks ago. It's nice, but I realized that I know absolutely anything.
And it's probably the best decision you've ever made in your life for yourself. And you'll see what I mean as you progress. Because for someone that doesn't train a lot, when I start to explain this, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But for the people that are listening that do train, they know. The lessons that you learn on the mat translate into life.
Like what?
Patience, humility, the ability to manage stress, the ability to be put in tough situations and be able to come out of it. When you think that you can't go any further, you have a whole lot more in the tank. Like, these are just some of the small lessons that are going to translate. But when we talk about jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
If you ask me what is it for me, it's my happy place. It's my therapy. It's my therapy not only for stress management, but for mental health, for emotional health, for camaraderie. So there's a lot of reasons why I do it.
It is
and there's a lot of people that would agree with me that feel the same way. As you progress and you start to do this for years, you're going to start to really see the benefits. Like, I am 150% a better human being because I study Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That is 100% fact. I hold myself better. I treat people better. So it's very, very powerful. It's very powerful.
It is nice, though, because and also with what you were saying about the sense of camaraderie. Is that the word?
Camaraderie, yeah.
I can't say that. The sense of that.
Yeah.
It's cool to have a bunch of guys that you see like a few times a week, and you work hard with.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's just nice. It's just, as guys, we're built that way. It's cool. We suffer together, and then, for some reason we become friends.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, I know you.
And another amazing thing is that all these people that you meet are from all different walks of life. You could be rolling with an ex-gang member. You could be rolling with a lawyer, a doctor, a construction guy, a small business owner, a CEO of a major company. But when we're all on the mat and we're all wearing our gi or no gi,
yeah,
we're just a bunch of dudes, man.
Yeah.
We're rolling around like a bunch of idiots, fighting each other, trying to fucking choke each other out, rip each other's arms off, right? And everybody's happy, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's the beauty of it.
It's true. It's pretty cool.
And the main thing for me is that is the time when I am 100% in the present moment.
Is the only one?
100% in the present moment is when I train jiu-jitsu. Meaning that all of life's worries, stresses, thinking of the future, thinking of the past, it's not there. 100% in the moment.
Nice.
How am I going to attack? How am I going to defend? right? Thinking like chess, 5 steps ahead, right? Always in the moment, 100%. And that's how it's very, very therapeutic and very, very balancing. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Kind of?
it is hard.
You will.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I learned this week. Right?
Second week.
I don't mean to get all philosophical on you.
It's
but,
not
you know.
the.
No, but he's right. It's like a recentering, essentially. Is
Absolutely.
What it's
But trust
Absolutely.
me.
It puts you right where you need to be, man.
But trust me, the thing that I found
this- is
out
this
is
mine?
Yeah.
beginner level. It's very, very beginner level. So I found out that there's some guys that for some reason don't wear tights, compression tights under.
They call spats, yeah.
Yeah. Under their shorts. So I was rolling with one.
Under their no-gi shorts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. So
Did you get a face full of balls? What happened?
I was lucky when I felt it on my leg. I was like, bro.
Oh, man. Well, I guess that's better than being teabagged.
I was feeling his dick on my.
Should just gift him some shorts.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh,
Get him
cool.
some briefs, man.
I was like, okay, I didn't want to say anything, but
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
it's kind of weird, right? It's like, dude, you gotta.
Yeah.
Anyway, so see, philosophical, and sometimes guys don't wear briefs under the shorts. So
They need to.
Yeah.
I probably would have choked his ass out, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I would have been like, hey, bro, we need to have a talk. You know?
He seemed new.
What's the matter? Bro, your balls are on my leg. Like, come on, man. Like, wear some fucking briefs or something. Or go on my site and buy yourself some fucking spats. You'll be all right.
Yeah, it was a little bit. But it was cool though. He was a cool kid.
Cool, man.
So what? Yeah. So you started this business a couple few months ago.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. So working on scaling right now, just scaling it up. Have a Shopify store and specialize in gis, kimonos, rash guards, MMA shorts, and T-shirts.
Nice.
This one here. This is wrist lockers don't go to heaven.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you've ever been a wrist lock before, you'll understand what that means.
I haven't.
Okay. It sucks.
It sucks.
Oh, yeah.
How does that work?
And I love fucking wrist locks. I go for them every chance I can.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you get it? Is there?
You want me to wrist lock you right now?
No,
Is that
but
what
can
you're
you
asking?
show it?
You can get it from anywhere.
Huh?
Yeah.
And then it's painful.
It's very painful.
Damn it.
You could win fights. You know, you're in a tournament, you wrist lock somebody like that. And usually you'll get what they call the verbal tap. Because they'll be like, done. It's beautiful.
Okay, so if sometimes they'll stop the fight if
So if you tap,
yeah.
or if you verbal tap.
Oh, okay.
So like if I got you in a wrist lock and you kind of yelped,
And I yelled
you'd be done.
like
Yep.
Huh.
And that's exactly how it sounds. Yeah.
So how did you start, or why did you start this? Where you're selling all of the gis?
Why did I start?
Yeah.
Because I just want to put out quality stuff to quality products, you know, to jiu-jitsu practitioners, man, at an affordable price.
It's very expensive, typically, and you just like the quality.
Yeah, I mean, for when we're looking at gis, any of these huge brands that are out there, I mean, you're looking at in excess of $150 per gi. So
you want to make something quality that's actually accessible.
Yeah, because if
Accessible,
you train a couple of times a week, or maybe you need 2 or whatever, like at some point you're gonna need more than one.
Exactly. I mean, if you saw my closet, you would think I was insane, but I have quite a few. I have like a whole section of just gis. I don't know where they came from. They've just accumulated.
Well,
if
you started a business selling gi, I'm assuming that you saw a problem and
yeah. So, but so I mean the basic, well, not the basic, but the white and blue.
Yeah.
One is for training, one is for competition.
Okay.
And then the black one is a special edition. The blue and whites, And we can make the black one without the special edition on the inside. So you have black, blue, or white. Those are $99. And then the special edition Samurai is $120.
Nice.
So
cool.
And then obviously we run sales and stuff, so you'll be able to get it for $99.
Yeah, we'll
sales
set that
so.
up. We can help you sell on our things as well.
And then the T-shirts, I brought a whole bag of what we carry.
Yeah.
$35 a shirt.
Okay.
And I'll show you what they feel like, so you can get an idea. Because these are, I don't know about you, but I'm very, I like soft quality on my skin, and I like cotton.
It's nice,
right? It's nice, right? So.
Do you wear these when you're training, or this is?
No, I wear these like.
No, just out about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is our Let's Roll.
Cool. Now you feel it?
Got the logo, inside logo. Feel it. Feel soft.
Oh, that's nice. It is soft. Look.
Do you offer women's too, or?
Yeah.
Nice.
Super tight. He's in a triangle armbar. If you can't see that.
Nice. Cool.
Soon you'll be in that position.
You got a triangle.
I don't know.
And if you go on the site, you'll see the rest. But these two are the most popular. Let's Roll and Wrist Lockers Don't Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
So I'll let you pick one out before we leave.
Oh, nice. Cool. Thanks.
Another gift for you.
Nice.
So
how did you get that started? Like, why did you want to start? You saw you was it just because it was expensive?
No, well, that and it's just that this is something I'm passionate about, something I love to do. So, and I want to put out quality stuff for the community, at an affordable price.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
Nice. I was wondering, how do you know Luis?
Who?
Luis.
How do I know Luis?
Yeah.
So he is my fiance's brother. He's my brother, my future brother-in-law.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wait, Louis, our marketing guy.
Yeah.
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 Small world.
Yeah,
that's nice. Well, yeah, okay, because
so we're pretty much all family at this point.
He introduced. Yeah, because I remember he introduced me, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah. But I didn't.
He's like, Jay, man, you got to get on his podcast, man. Come on, man, get on his podcast. I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah, man, come on, you're gonna fucking kill it. I'm like, all right, I'll get on there, bro. Yeah, whatever.
He's great, Louis. Great.
Oh yeah, he's great. That was the craziest thing, man, because we played football together in Quebec.
Yeah, yeah.
In CEGEP, like 12 years ago.
Yeah. What position did you play?
Receiver. I would play wide receiver.
I played linebacker.
Nice.
Yeah. Coming up, and then it's a funny story, man, because I played a lot of soccer. So I played football. I played ice hockey. I played lacrosse.
Okay.
All contact sports.
Lacrosse is a cool sport.
Yeah,
no, I never played, but it looks so cool.
So violent, man. I fucking love it. Yeah, it's nasty. I played attack.
What does that?
I see a pattern in the sports that you like.
Yeah, I like combat sports.
Well, lacrosse is kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
We don't have that in Canada.
Created by the Native American Indians, lacrosse.
Yeah, because because they were fighting like in that style or something like that, or
I don't know the history, but I know that it was a game that they played.
Oh, it was a game. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been cool.
Badass. So yeah, I mean, you're getting hit with the sticks, you're getting poked with the sticks. The ball is like solid. So I played attack. So there's your goal's a triangle, right? You got goalies with the big stick. Then
it's bigger.
Then you got your defenders that have like 6 foot long sticks, so they're able to wing that ball up to the midfielders.
Oh, okay, so the sticks are not all the same.
No. And then you have your midfielders, just like soccer, that we call middies. And then you have your attacks. And your attacks are pretty much behind, let's say, enemy lines, right? So your middies get the ball, and they throw it up to the attack, and the attack shoots and tries to score. That's kind of the organization of lacrosse. But
so like soccer a little bit.
Kind of like soccer. It's like a mix between soccer, football, and ice hockey. Because you're checking people.
Yeah, you tackle people and everything.
You're leveling people, yeah. Yeah, you're poke checking them with the stick. You're whacking the stick out of them. It's pretty violent.
Penalty, like.
I mean, there is, but
a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not trying to cut his health, but cut his head.
Well, you are, but try not to make it look like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's violent, man. It's good though. It's a good sport. So So yeah, I played those sports, and then so the story that I was trying to get to. So I played a lot of football. I played a lot of soccer as well. So one day I'm screwing around on the field, and I'm like, "Hey man, put the tee up for the ball. Let me try to kick a field goal." And I kicked this field goal, and the coach is like, "You're a kicker now." I was like, "Oh shit." Man.
Kicker is always the weirdest guy
bye the linebacker. Now I'm the fucking kicker, and I won a lot of games kicking, man. So
nice. Well,
yeah.
the kicker is
Fuck it.
the kicker position in football is one of the most interesting position in all of sports.
They win games, man. So
it's so important.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
It's so
huge,
and
asset.
it's always the weirdest guy that doesn't seem to be there to be able to hang out with the team or whatever. Like sometimes I had kicker that was fat. I had kicker that was.
Man, I was in shape,
dude.
It's just
I
had a good soccer kick, man.
When I was playing in college, our kicker in Ottawa was 5'4".
I was a little guy, yeah.
He played in the CFL. He was so fucking good.
Holy shit. Man.
He was super good.
Nice.
But he was small dude. Like you could never imagine he was one of the most important guy on the football team.
Yeah.
You could never guess that. But such a cool guy. But the kicker is the weirdest one was what the one that we had. Ask Louis. Next time you see Louis, ask about kicker at in Quebec. It was cool dudes though. It was so fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did you play?
Where did I play?
Yeah, just high school, or did you play in college? Or
Yeah, I played junior high and high school.
nice,
So
nice. And then were you better at soccer or football? Like which one do you like the most?
soccer.
Why?
I mean I can't even remember when I started playing. I was so little, man.
Really?
It's just that what I played growing up, that and hockey, ice hockey. So
See, I'm probably the only Canadian that doesn't skate.
yeah. So from what my mother told me, I don't know if it's a bunch of bullshit, but I mean, she said at the age of 2, she put me on the ice. So
Maybe she did. But
she said that I
it was because she dropped you.
I dropped myself. I mean, she said I went, I fell a few more times, and then that was it. I got the hang of it.
Huh.
So yeah, been skating all my life.
When was that?
Played a lot of hockey
what
growing
year?
up.
What year was that? Like when you started to skate?
Well, if I was 2, it was probably 1984.
Yeah, so the theory that she dropped you the first time and then you started to go, and it's kind of, it works, right? In the 80s, mom were a little bit looser.
Oh, absolutely. Not as fucking crazy as it is now, man.
It's I don't know which one is better.
I prefer it that way.
You prefer it that way?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It was just more normal, man. You know, things are kind of getting out of control now.
Seems like it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you doing before the gi business?
So I was a police officer for 10 years.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Were you doing something else or?
As far as business?
Yeah.
So I've always been an entrepreneur. So I have also a firearms training company. I've had that since 2012. Yep. It's called All American Firearms Academy.
Nice.
You can check that out at allamericanfirearmsacademy.com.
So how does that work?
I put on courses, anything from basic pistol shooting courses to advanced courses, private lessons.
What do you
weapons
do?
permit courses.
But what do you do in the basic, the first one that you said, the basic course challenge or something? The first course that you give, like to the basic with the handgun.
So for a basic pistol course, we would go over, basic gun safety. It would be part classroom.
Okay.
We'd teach them about gun safety, range rules, stuff like that. And then getting them out on the range, we would teach them, the fundamentals of pistol shooting. So sight alignment, sight picture, trigger control, trigger reset, proper grip, proper stance.
So
and then we would gradually build upon that, depending on the proficiency of the student.
Are you teaching what you learned on the force?
Yes, a mixture of and I've taught the police for many years too, but yeah, a mixture of some things that I've learned on the force, but more things that I've learned just training with some pretty high level dudes. So
Like who?
I'm not going to say, but
Maybe what do they, without giving names, Like, what did you learn from them, or what do they do?
Well, I've trained with some SEALs. I've trained with some Rangers from military stuff, and learned some good techniques, some good tactics. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then I've been a firearms instructor since 2012 in the private sector, and then I got my law enforcement certifications as well. So teaching the police as well. So.
And then so like, how far can you go on this? Because like, when you learn the basics, so the first class is kind of like, so it's the basic of holding a gun and shooting with it.
Correct.
And then you need to know like what to do after.
Yeah, so I like to focus a lot on reality-based training.
What does that mean?
So what I mean by that is, you know, I don't want to get too far off on a tangent here, but most people that own firearms or carry concealed, they are not at the level of training that they need to be. A lot of them just take a course, and then they go and they carry a gun. For me, I consider that a liability and not an asset. So
I agree.
When I teach, and the reason why I started teaching was just for that reason. I'm about creating assets, not liabilities. So when I put somebody through a course or a private lesson, I focus more on reality-based training, right? More self-defense. How are we going to utilize this tool, right? Because the firearm is a tool. It's an extension of you. How are we going to use this in a real-life situation, right? So the question always comes up, you know, we're in some sort of a deadly force encounter. Are we just going to be standing static, looking at a target and shooting a target? Absolutely not. You're going to be moving.
Yeah, because the target is trying to attack you.
Well, if we're talking about the difference between being on a firearms range in a controlled environment and being in a self-defense situation, we're talking about two totally, completely different things, right? So what I mean is we're at a range and we're shooting at a target, working on fundamentals, right?
Oh, okay. That's
that target's not shooting back, right? So there's no stress involved.
That's not the target that I had in mind. I had
right?
someone incoming.
Right. So we're gonna get to that, right? So the first going back to what is a basic pistol shooter's course, or what is a beginner's lesson, right? That's what we're focusing on. We're focusing on just controlled environment, working on the basic fundamentals, the basic operations of the firearm, right? Just like I said, sight alignment, sight picture, grip, trigger control, trigger reset, proper stance. Make sure we get all that squared away. Make sure that you know what you're doing and you could at least hit the target. Then we start to progress and we go into more reality-based training. Where, just like I said, what happens in real life? Real life, that you're not standing static in a controlled environment looking at a paper target. You have that target that you were thinking about coming at you, or at least engaging you from some point, right?
Yeah.
So are you staying static?
No.
Absolutely not, right? You're going to be moving. You're going to be moving and shooting, or you're going to be moving from one position of cover or concealment to the next position of cover and concealment, right?
Yeah, okay.
Understand, right?
Yeah, no,
You're also going to be drawing from a holster, right? Because you're carrying a gun,
right?
So how do we draw from a holster effectively? How do we get back into the holster? How do we move and shoot? How do we move and track? So these are a lot of the things that I teach. It gets it gets more advanced, more high speed, more reality based, lots of stress, right? We want to elevate the heart rate. Why do we want to do that? Because when the heart rate is elevated, the body does funny things.
Yeah.
Right? The physiological effects, when adrenaline dumps, a lot of people can't handle that stress.
Yeah.
Right? You'll see people crawl up into a little ball, they cry. Some people shit themselves, some people freeze, right? So as you train and you get stressed out, and you train under these conditions, you actually start to be able to control the adrenaline, the tunnel vision that you hear about, right? The auditory distortion or exclusion.
You channel it to focus more, and
you'll be able to channel it to help you, rather than hurt you, right?
That's so cool that we can do that.
And that just comes with training. So I like to focus a lot on that. Do a lot of room clearing stuff, teaching people how to defend themselves in their homes, how to enter rooms, how to work angles, doorways, stuff like that. Yeah.
Where are you based off?
I'm based out of Boca Raton, Florida.
Oh, your school is in Boca?
So my main headquarters is in Boca, and we do a lot of training up in St. Lucie County at the current time right now.
How does it, like, do we have to go somewhere to train? Like, are you, how does that work in Boca? And
It just depends on what level of training we're doing. So if we're doing a private one-on-one lesson, it would just be at one of the local ranges. If we're doing more of an advanced course, it's probably going to be at a different type of range. Usually I use outdoors. If we're doing some type of room clearing or CQB, right, close quarter, that would be in like a shoot house. So it just depends on the level of training and what we're doing. It just depends on the environment.
Wait, there's a shoot house is a house that you can shoot in.
Yeah, so I don't use live shoot houses. I use shoot houses that will accommodate simunitions. So it's your real gun, but it's converted. We take the barrel out. We put a training barrel in. You're still shooting a projectile, so you're still getting the recoil, the blowback, the extraction of the casing.
Oh, it's
but the bullet that's coming out is more like a
paint.
Yeah.
In the SWAT movie. You know the old one. They have a training in the plane, and then
they're using like simunitions.
Yeah, and then it's like a paintball or something.
It's similar. It's a plastic bullet, and inside the bullet has like detergent.
Okay, cool.
But
yeah.
if I were to shoot you from here to there, you know, there's a standoff rule because it will pierce the skin.
Oh.
Yeah. So you have to be careful.
So okay,
there's a standoff rule.
Much stronger than the paintball did.
Oh yeah. Ooh. So you can also use airsoft, you know, for instructors out there that want to maybe do it a little more affordable, right? Because we're not so much concerned about shooting the real, but we're more concerned about working the angles, right, and taking control of the room. These are the big things.
Oh, okay. So the shooting is the second thing. Then it's not even.
It's how do we enter, or what do we do before we enter, right? How do we enter once we made the decision to break the threshold? How are we going to enter, right? And how are we going to take control over that room? Those are the main learning objectives. And then addressing the target, right?
Right.
When you say taking control of the room, what does that mean?
So if I were to come into this room, right, this is what we call a corner fed room, right? Why is it a corner fed room? Because you have a load bearing wall here, right? Yeah. You have your door there, and the door and the room opens in this way, right? Okay. So I already know that this wall is not a huge problem. Does that make sense?
So you want to look like here.
Right. So if I was going to come into this, like let's say this door was open, I would start to clear this room from the outside. So I would stay on the threshold of the door. I would work my way from here, come around as I look in. Right?
Oh,
as
okay.
I look in, right? I'm what they call cutting the pie, right?
Right.
So I'm looking at these sectors as I'm coming around the threshold of the door. I can see that this entire area is clear of any threats or adversaries. As I continue to sweep around the threshold, I could start to see now in here. So now I have this whole sector clear. Where is my main issue?
Right here.
This dead space, this dead corner here.
Oh, because in my head you were opening the door like this.
Well, if the door was
closed, you were opening like this a little bit, and then that would be the dead spot, right?
Right. I'm just saying if the door was open, right?
Yeah.
So I would start on this threshold here.
Yeah.
And I would work this way.
Right.
That way I can start to clear all this. And then my main concern, my liability is this corner here. So how would I address that corner? Right?
How would you address the corner?
I would come in. It just depends on the situation. We can go slow, methodical, or we can go hard and, force of violence. It just depends on the situation. And then if you're coming in hard, you need to come in and you need to address it right away. So you'd come in, you'd stay on the wall, and then you would have sectors of responsibility, depending on how many people are coming in the room with you.
What's sector of responsibility? So it's you divide.
Right. So if man one comes in, he has a sector. Man two comes in, he has a sector. Right. And as you work as a team, you trust each other that they are taking care of their responsibility. They're taking care of their sectors of responsibility. That comes with lots of training, and that comes with team cohesion.
Yeah, but it's the
you're
same
not
thing
going to
with
get
football,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to get that. That's the problem with like responding to an alarm call with an officer that you kind of know, but he works in a different zone, right? And he's just there to back you up, and you guys don't really work together tight, right?
So you don't know.
And now
him.
you're like, shit, is he gonna, when I go in this room, is he gonna be taking care of his sector responsibility? So now what is that? Is that cohesion, or is that more now, fuck, I got to worry about him now, he's more of a liability, right? Would I just rather be in here alone type shit, right? Compared to we're on a team and we do this all the time.
Yeah.
He's got your back.
And this is what we do. And I know you, when we come in this room, you got your shit together. I don't even have to fucking second guess it. I know you're going to take that corner while I take this.
You know, I
don't even have to look.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference, right? So
how do you know when you trust somebody?
training, you just
It's just repetition.
Like,
you know.
just
what are you
repetition.
looking for, though?
You know.
yeah, you just know.
Yeah.
What am I looking for?
Yeah, like what are some qualities that you might be looking for in somebody that you'd want? If you could only have one other person that's going into a room with you, what do you?
I just want to make sure that they're tactfully sound. You know, and I've been in situations on the job where I've had officers come on scene and I've told them, just hold the door. Just hold the front door. Make sure nobody comes in behind me. I mean, it is a difference, right?
Yeah.
And I've also had, hey, I'm waiting for this guy because I know this guy knows what the fuck he's doing, and I know we're gonna go in this house and we're gonna own it. Yeah, because that's the difference, right?
Because sometimes you don't want to enter just by yourself. You prefer to wait for some backup, and then
it just depends. But there's lots of times that you have to. There's lots of times that you have to, you know. And like I said, if the person that's coming to help is going to be more of a liability, based on my experience, I'd rather be in there by myself because I don't want to have to worry about you. The guy that's coming that I know is tactfully sound, I don't have to worry about him. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He knows his responsibility. He knows that I know what I'm doing. We've done this together 150 times before, and we're going to make it happen. You know, that's the difference.
How long does it take for, I guess if we talk about specifically the training at the school, how long does it take for someone to be comfortable like owning a room?
It's just repetition, and it's based on the individual.
What do you typically see? Or it just can range, like it's all over the place?
Yeah, and it's very perishable too. So if you're not consistently training, just like anything, right? If you're not consistently training,
you lose it.
You lose it. So you have to stay. You know, I recommend at least a few times a month if you can do it. You know, most people can't because they're busy. But if you really want to become proficient, you know, or just, you know, take the skills I teach you and then go home. You know, so your wife looks at you like you're fucking crazy as you're clearing your rooms through your house. Trust me, I've done it before. But I mean, that's how you get your that's how you get your reps in, man. Talk to any guys that train, they know.
Babe, I'm practicing.
So, I need to do this.
But it just all depends on the individual. But it's definitely something that you need to repetitively do. You know, and a lot of times when we're talking about room clearing, it all comes down to angles. It all comes down to angles. Yeah.
Huh. Well, you got to know the angles.
And you got to know the angles. Because if let's say that I'm the adversary here, right? I have the gun on the table for whatever, let's just say we're doing a scenario. Yeah. And you're the bad guy here, right, with the gun on the table. And I'm out there and I'm clearing the room and I'm coming around this threshold. I should be able to see you before you can see me.
Makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I have the jump on you. Mm-hmm. If he sees you before you see him, you're doing it wrong. So it all comes down to the angles.
Huh. Is there something else that you teach in the school, or this is the main thing, like how to?
Yeah, so I teach firearms training, basic to advanced, and I teach self-defense, which is based on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai. Yep. We do like women's self-defense classes, stuff like that too.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you're under immense stress in a situation, what are you telling yourself to stay focused?
I'm kind of weird, man. I operate the best under those conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I fucking eat that shit up. So I don't really tell myself anything. I just kind of operate, you know. I just do what I got to do what I know how to do. I think the biggest thing that you need to think about, or that maybe you think about after the fact I know it is for me, is, you know, the ability to make split-second decisions in the moment. And is it the right decision? Right? So, but as far as being able to perform, for me, it's a natural thing for me. Yeah.
Well,
and I think it's just based on the training, you know, because you're always going to fall back to your level of training. So if you're in a shitty situation and you have no training, that's what you're going to fall back to, man. If you have high level of training, that's what you're going to fall back to.
That's why the discipline is so important.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about the trust in your partner, and it made me think about. I think it was Simon Sinek that was
Leaders Eat Last.
Yeah,
Great book.
it was a great book, but it was in the talk that he was doing about the SEALs, how what they would prefer. They had this, I think, this chart of competence, and the other thing is, I think, was trust. And they would rather have a low competence,
Yes, I
high
remember
trust.
that.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Because at least you know what you got.
And you could always work on building that guy up, you know?
Yeah.
I would rather have that guy that listens than that guy who's super cocky, that doesn't know what he's doing, thinks he knows what he's doing.
No, but maybe
and
he's very good.
And he doesn't fucking listen. Like, I don't want that guy. I would rather have, like you're talking about, maybe his competence is a little less, but I could trust him.
Yeah.
And if I tell him to do something, he's going to do it,
Yeah.
you know? And, right? Rather than the guy that doesn't know shit but thinks he does, and you can't tell him nothing. I don't want that guy.
Or even if he's like
He's not
skilled,
he's
like,
not coachable.
Yeah.
Huh?
Or even if he's highly skilled, like you mentioned, it's still a liability because you don't know if you could trust him. If
Exactly.
The situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if he's highly skilled too, right? So there's a double-edged sword. But if you're talking about team cohesion, right? You don't want that guy.
No, he's a cancer for the team.
Correct.
He's gonna get you killed probably.
Everybody needs to be equal, and everybody needs to be a leader. Because, and what I mean by that is, when you're coming into some sort of a, let's say we're coming into a room, point man might turn into secondary guy coming back out of the room, right? So now the next guy is now number one guy, right? So he needs to know how to lead, right? Everybody needs to know how to take up each other's responsibility, right?
That's why
and this
you
is
need
where
such
the
a high level of trust.
high level of trust, high level of training, and team cohesion.
Because if I need to follow you, I got to make sure that you know your shit,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
That's the thing.
So I might be point man coming in, but I might be last guy going out.
Well, yeah, because then now you're in, and all of the guys that are not in,
And now
they're
we
not.
turn around and we go out, right? So now last man's number one, right?
Yeah.
See how it works? So we all have to always trust each other, and we all have to know how to do each other's jobs.
Oh, that's cool.
You don't want people that, nobody's better than anybody. Everybody's a unit. They're a team. So
they are better. There are people that are better than others. But if we work as a team, then we're
well, I'm not saying
best.
what I'm saying is the mentality.
Yeah.
mentality.
Because the abilities, this is different. This is different. This is what I mean when I say like people are better than some other. There's some that are doing much more impressive things than you and I can do.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So like, of course, there's guys that are better than us at doing those things.
Yeah.
But it reminds me so much of football because like it really is like something that you have to work together, otherwise you're screwed. Like if one guy blows a cover, then it's a touchdown. Most like
There's no I in team. You know what I'm saying?
No, I heard that. I heard this one so many times.
You know.
Do you teach a lot of this at the school as well, besides like the tactical pieces?
Teach a lot of what?
Like the leadership and how important it is
Absolutely.
for team camaraderie. And
Yeah. Done a lot of public speaking, leadership stuff.
Cool.
How do you teach leadership?
How do you teach leadership?
Yeah.
Or maybe what do you typically teach?
So when obviously I teach for my company, but I'm also an instructor at I'm not going to say where, but I teach the police.
Okay.
And it's just like the conversations we're having now, man. Like, how do you trust somebody? You know, what is leadership? You know, what is the difference between confident and cocky? They seem the same, but they're completely different, right? So when we
What's
talk,
the difference to you?
Just like I said before, the guy that thinks he knows what he's doing, but doesn't.
I think that's
but swears that he does.
Yeah.
And you can't tell him none the wiser, and he's not coachable. That's cocky.
Yeah.
Confident is the guy that comes in. Everybody knows he's in the room. Everybody knows Everybody knows that they know what he does, and I'm trying to explain this. And he knows what he does, but he doesn't have to say it.
Does
that make sense?
I
There's no reason to show it off. Like let's get down to business and you'll see, pretty much, right?
Right.
But there's no reason to flaunt it, to boast about it. Whereas the cocky guy, he needs to tell everybody.
Yes,
Right?
I agree.
Maybe you have a different perspective on it.
Yes, I do, and
Okay.
I think it's funny because we were talking about this week, actually, a couple of days ago, and I agree with what you're talking about, but I have to add another perspective, and I think you can still be very, very confident about something and not be good at it.
Yes. Well, and that would be cocky.
No, I disagree, because hear me out.
Yeah, but there's
Hear me out.
yes, and then there's you, right? So
Hear me out.
Yeah.
My point of view about this, I agree with you. If you look at someone that is very competent in the thing, right? But he's very confident that he's competent, right? But I see it from the point where I'm not competent. I know I suck, but I know I will get good at this. Right?
Right.
So I can still be confident in everything that I'm doing, right? In the fact that I will figure it out. I know I didn't figure it out yet, but I can still be confident in the fact that I will. So therefore, I think that you can still be confident truly without sounding cocky, but I think the difference is the awareness that you suck and that maybe you don't know.
Well, then that would be humble. You're humble enough to know that you don't have it 100%,
Exactly,
but
but
you're
you-
confident enough to know that you're going to get there, right?
Yeah,
So,
but they do work
but
together.
it's not
though.
cocky.
But if you're not humble but then you're cocky.
Correct.
Then if you're not aware that maybe you don't know, then you're cocky.
Correct.
I think that's the difference.
Yes.
It's the awareness.
The ignorance.
It's the
The
self-awareness.
ignorance is the cockiness.
I think so.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
It makes sense,
100%,
right?
100%.
Oh, I like when I figure something out about
100%. 100%. Yeah. So I think, the confident guy is the humble guy.
Yeah.
That's the confident guy.
Yeah, because he doesn't need to show it.
He's humble. He knows what he knows. He knows what he doesn't know.
I don't know most.
That's the
things.
guy that I want. That's the guy that would be. That's the character traits I look for. I look for the humility and the skill.
How do you determine? I guess you kind of did though. I was gonna ask how do you determine the skill, but you can figure it out pretty much.
Probably if somebody is coachable, I think is a good way to determine it. Because if they're listening, they're taking the feedback, and you see them applying it, that's a good
Is that water
indicator.
there?
Yeah.
Nice. It was for me.
What are you drinking there? Protein shake?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I needed some more protein
So,
and
man, gotta get those muscles big.
gotta get it in. I told my coach I was not gonna screw up this week because I've been trying to cut to get like below 10% of body fat.
Oh, nice.
I was never able to do that in my life, and I was like, okay, let's see if I can do it. And it's hard, man.
Yeah, it is.
hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard. And I've been having trouble with consistency in the past month or something because we've been traveling. We've been away for like 3 weeks out of the month, kind of. And when I go on vacation, I don't want to turn crazy.
Yeah.
I want to. A big part of vacation for me is enjoying the new food, is trying new stuff, and
Absolutely.
I don't want to look at that.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna go crazy, but I want to enjoy the food because for me
That's part of the
it's
reason
part
why
of the
you're going away.
experience, right?
Absolutely.
Who fucking wants to restrict himself when they want to?
No,
Like,
absolutely
don't
not.
go crazy. Eat like good things.
Yeah.
Like, stop when you're not hungry anymore. Stop maybe a little bit before. Don't fucking drink too much if you don't want to. The alcohol, I feel like, are you drinking a lot, or you kind of did like me? Like I almost stopped completely.
Yeah, right now I'm on that right now where I'm not really drinking very much. Maybe a glass of wine here and there.
Same.
A few months ago, I was drinking a little more, and it's just because of things that were going on and what we were doing. I mean, we were in Italy for 14 days, so
How was that?
A lot of wine. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Where'd you go?
It was amazing. I flew into Milan. Should I say we flew into Milan, and then we pretty much just went like every 2 days to a different city.
With your mom or?
No, with my fiance.
Oh, cool.
So we went. Yeah, with my mom. I wish. That's like a dream for my mom to go there.
Oh, really?
I told
That'd be a
her.
cool trip, no?
Yeah, I told her I'll take her.
Nice.
So, but yeah, so we did Milan, Florence, Tuscany, Venice, Naples. I think I'm missing one. Rome, and then we went down to Amalfi, Positano.
Nice.
We actually did 4 days in Positano, and that was absolutely beautiful.
I heard there's no house for rent in Tuscany, though.
I don't know. I just know we were there. We went to a vineyard out there called the Torsiano Vineyard. So if you guys ever get a chance, Torsiano. Talk to my friend Alberto out there. Take care of you guys. We did lunch in the vineyard. Absolutely amazing, man. They brought out 6 wine glasses per person. They gave us all the fresh meats and cheeses. Did like a whole wine tasting, presentation of each wine.
Please stop.
And yeah. So we got pretty hammered, man. It was nice. Ate good food in the vineyard, and then we actually wound up buying like 6 bottles of wine from Italy.
Wine.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Oh, I love wine tasting.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's the best.
Yeah, so Tuscany was nice, and then like I said, Positano was amazing down there in Amalfi Coast. But the one thing that really
Oh yeah, the Amalfi Coast. I had a friend. They went into. They went there and for a boys' trip. They spent like 2 weeks in Europe. They went a bunch of crazy place. They rented a fucking boat because it was cooler than renting hotels. They rented how the
Catamaran?
no
it was like a yacht, like a boathouse.
no, it was not a huge boat. It was like the one that goes on wind.
Oh, sailboat.
Sailboat.
Yeah.
There you go. So they rented a medium-sized sailboat or whatever. They had a chef and then some crew, and then
nice.
4 guys. It was the coolest trip. I was so jealous.
So what we did is we did Airbnbs. I think we only stayed in 2 hotels, and then in each city we just used public transportation. So we did buses and subways, and then from each city we did high-speed train.
It's cool in Europe that
So we didn't rent a car. The only thing I rented is when we got to Positano, because I didn't know going to Positano that I was going to be on the fucking Stairmaster for 4 days. All right, everything is stairs, everything is uphill. You're on a fucking mountain, okay? My calves, let me tell you something about my calves, man. My fucking calf game and my glutes, bro, I came back with some fucking, my calves were like,
you
nice.
put in the work.
Oh, yeah. So by like the second day, I'm like, we're renting a fucking scooter. So I go to the scooter guy, and I'm like, how much for this scooter? And I'm like, at that point, I didn't care. So
How much was it?
I think it was like $250 for like 2 days or whatever. I'm like, whatever, man. Here's $250,
My legs are shot, it's
man.
worth
It was
it.
fucking worth it.
Oh, no.
So now we're zooming up and down the mountain. It was nice, man. It was nice. But the biggest thing and the most enjoyable thing about Italy was the food. We pretty much ate croissants, pizza, pasta, seafood almost every day, and we didn't gain any weight.
Oh, the food's better over there.
It's better. The portions are better as far as like portion control.
They have, there's
And
different
the way you
weeks,
feel
so-
when you eat, man. You don't feel full. You don't feel sick. You don't feel. I mean,
It's healthier. It's a
it's
lot
healthier.
healthier what they do. Yeah.
it's healthier.
There's I think I heard there's different there's different way to treat the wheat or something. Or
Yeah,
different
the gluten
wheat.
and all that. Yeah, yeah.
How does that? Do you
So
know?
a lot of most of the food is it's fresh.
But you
You
don't
know,
have
all the vegetables and the fruits are from the garden.
Oh, that's cool.
It's all grown. Yeah. So the sauces are from the garden. Like a lot of the restaurants we went to, they had their own gardens.
Really?
Yeah. So just don't order a cappuccino after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Because
Why?
they'll think you're fucking crazy.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, after okay, so in the afternoon, no cappuccino.
No cappuccino.
Why? It's breakfast coffee.
That's how they do it over there. Yeah.
You need an espresso
Espresso after 12.
after 12.
Cappuccino before noon.
Noted. We might be there next month.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
If you guys need a good itinerary, let me know.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we got it locked in.
Yeah.
Discuss that.
We'll discuss it.
My fiance, she did all the logistics. I was like, "You got this?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, I'm along for the
Yeah,
ride."
I got
man."
one like that too.
And she organized that shit down to the fucking minute, man. I was like, "Holy shit,
Oh, it's
Wow.
nice
Like,
though.
let's do it."
It's
We
nice.
did a bunch of excursions. We just had a blast. We rented a boat. I mean, it was great, man. Great time. Great time.
Nice.
What type of excursions did you guys do?
Yeah, we did the boat. We did the tour in Rome. We did the vineyard. We did a bunch of stuff, man. It was nice.
This your first time over there?
Yeah.
How often do you think of Rome?
Stop it. I knew where that was going. I knew where that was going. I
Fucking
don't want to get
Roman
into that
Empire.
shit.
It's funny when everyone started to do that though, because we didn't think about it probably more often than we realized for some reason.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is fun, James.
So, why are you cutting weight, man? You doing a competition or something?
No,
No?
it's just I wanted to see if I could do it.
See if you could do it, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all about the nutrition, man. If you can discipline yourself with the nutrition, no alcohol, you know, you'll
just
be able to
need
do
to-
it. I mean, that's how I do when I get ready to fight. I get on like 4 to 6 week plan, and I just stay laser focused, man. Laser focused, and I don't cut a lot. I like to try to fight at my walk around weight.
Why is that?
Because I just don't like to cut. I mean, you cut too much, it's hard on the body. And for me, I feel like I'm not as strong if I cut too much. So for a long time, I was fighting heavyweight in Jiu-Jitsu. And these last, like,
What's the weight for that?
208 was the max weight.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was fighting 208. Above that is super heavyweight. And then above that is like ultra heavy. So I cut down to medium heavy, which max weight's like 195. I feel good at that weight, height weight. But I walk around at 185. So right now, I mean, like I just fought this past weekend. The max weight in that tournament was 191. They call it, in that division, was cruiserweight. And I came in at 185. I came in at my walk-around weight. So I was strong, healthy, wound up winning double gold.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with your nutrition, man, and your weight cuts. So.
How big was the tournament?
What do you mean?
Well, how many athletes were there? How does that work?
Hundreds. Yeah, it was pretty big. I mean, it's not one of the biggest tournaments. They're up and coming. It's a new breed.
How does that work? Jiu-Jitsu tournaments.
What do you mean?
Well, how does that work? Like, where do you register? What is it about? Like,
So the
how the point
the
works?
the main governing force is the IBJJF, and that's the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. Okay, so they are the pinnacle. You're an IBJJF. You are ranked throughout the world. So I can fight in Florida. I can fight in Italy. Same ranking, right? It's an international bracket. It's international ranking. Some of the local tournaments, like the one I just fought in, was a promotion called New Breed. So that's their tournament name, is New Breed. Then you have others like Jiu-Jitsu World League. You have ADCC. You have all these other entities, but a lot of them follow the IBJJF rules and regulations.
Oh, because you can start a business doing tournaments.
Yeah, you can start a company and hold tournaments, absolutely.
Oh, that's what the UFC is, right?
But they have different, although they all try to follow IBJJF, they all put their own little twist on things. So, like, whereas, just like I explained, like, if I was fighting in IBJJF, I would be fighting medium heavy.
Okay.
New breed is called cruiserweight. Jiu-Jitsu World League, I'm not even sure what their weight divisions are, right?
You just call it different names.
Right? So, but like I said, IBJJF is the governing force. So all these other promotions follow their rules and regulations. Most of them do. So how does it work? You find the tournament, you register, you select your weight division, you select your belt rank, and you select your age. And then people sign up and they start to put you in brackets. Sometimes you'll have a fight, sometimes you won't. IBJJF, you'll probably always have a fight. These local tournaments, sometimes you won't. So sometimes you'll either have to go up a weight division or you'll have to go down in age to get a fight. It just depends.
So, okay, so is it better to fight older guys? Like, when does it become a liability, the age that you are?
I don't know if it's a liability, but if I know what you're trying to ask me. If I had a choice to fight, let's say, heavier or younger,
Yeah.
I would want to fight heavier.
Really?
Yeah, why do I want to fight a younger guy?
I don't know. Maybe you're stronger.
He's
than
probably stronger. He's probably got more cardio, right? It's a lot of it's strategy.
Okay, so but what I'm trying to ask is, when is prime in jiu-jitsu competition?
What do you mean when it's prime?
Like when is your prime? Like at what age are you reaching? Or most athletes reach their prime? Is it like in the?
I don't know, man. I started in my 30s.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah, I mean, I'm 42. So I started, how old was I? 37, 8, 9, 10, 11. What was I, 34, 35 years old?
Huh.
Right? So I feel like I'm in my prime. So I don't know. I mean, the 20-year-olds might feel like they're in their prime.
But that's what I mean.
I'm still winning championships. I won Pan Americans in 2020. I'm a Pan American no-gi champ.
Cool.
I'm a Florida State champ. I've lost a lot and I've won a few. A few good ones.
Yeah.
So and you'll get that a lot from a lot of competitors. What people only see the medals. They don't see the losses in between. And with the losses comes learning. Right? There was a period where I was making the same mistake over and over again. I'd go to a tournament, I'd fight, and I'd make the same fucking mistake.
What was it?
And it took me 3-4 losses to learn from that mistake to not do it again. Getting stuck in the stand-up.
What is that?
It's the judo aspect of jiu-jitsu, right? Because when we stand up, it's judo.
Okay.
So how did I overcome that? I just started really focusing on takedowns, like focusing on...
Oh, get him to the ground.
Right, because we start standing. I know in training you guys start on the knees a lot, but in competition we start standing up. So that's where the judo comes in, right? We're trying to hit single leg takedowns, double legs. We're trying to do, osotogaris, leg sweeps, foot sweeps, right?
Like we learned yesterday.
Tomionagi.
I sort of learning. Yeah, definitely
Right?
trying.
We worked on that yesterday.
So a lot of the times for me is I would get stuck, grip fighting and hesitating to not go in because I just wasn't confident. I was confident in training, but then I'd go out and I'd fight and I'd be like, man, and I would think too much and I'd be like, fuck, if I shoot for this, what if he defends it? Now I'm going to be in a bad position, right? And it was kind of like the head junk, right? The head trash.
When you think too much, is
the
worst.
Right, and to get over that, I just had to keep losing, And now I'm over it. Now I go out there and I fire, man. And if I feel I can't get the takedown, then I'll pull guard. I'm not going to get stuck in the stand-up because what happens is you get stuck in the stand-up and these matches are only 5-minute matches.
Oh, it's not long.
So, and by the time you look at it, you've been fucking standing up, hand fighting,
2.5
breaking
minutes.
grips for fucking 3 minutes, and you got 2 minutes left on the clock. And there's no points on the board. Right? And you have 2 penalties because you guys have just been fucking around, hesitating. Right? So it took me a while to overcome that. This past tournament, I went right in every match. I had one no-gi match. I closed out the advanced no-gi division. He went in for some type of a, he might have been trying to do like a hip toss, I don't know, but he stuck his leg between mine, and I scooped that bitch. I scooped it, leg swept him, took him down, got 2 points, and we just kind of battled in his guard for the remaining of the fight. The second fight was gi. I did one of my takedowns that I do. I did double single collar and just snatched him down. And then, so that's 2 points, and then I started passing and making more points. I won that match. And then the third fight, I did some judo. I went in, I faked like I was going to do like a leg sweep, and then I came to the other foot and I foot swept him, got him down, and then just worked on points, passing, position, stuff like that. So because of those losses, I've gotten more confident in my stand-up, and it's forced me to practice more judo.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because then so if I understand correctly, in the competition, you're not always trying to choke him out. You want to score points.
So that's good. We can talk about that. So, and I have something posted on my Instagram. I always talk about, when we're in these competitions, we only have 5 minutes, right? If you're not a black belt, you have 5 minutes. Black belts get a little more time. You have 5 minutes to make some shit happen, pretty much. And if, like I said, if you're fucking around and you're not doing anything, we're gonna leave it up to the ref to decide. We don't want that, right? So, what I always tell people, especially newer belts coming up and those that are starting to compete, is I always say, yeah, work on your submissions, know your attacks, work on your submissions, but points wins fights. So you need to focus on the points game. You need to focus on strategy, not only strategy on how I'm gonna make points, but also how to strategize the time. You need to focus on the clock, right? Focus on the clock. I know if I take you down, I get 2 points. Now you're behind. Now you have to work to try to.
So you can just take your sweet time.
Well, I can't take my sweet time, but I have time now. Does that make sense?
Right.
I'm up ahead by 2 points. So now I can slow things down, and I can start to really focus on control, focus on more positions.
That's what I mean when
I don't have to be so crazy to try to make those points because I already got them. I already got the 2 points. Now you're behind. Now you need to fight to try to get back and try to get more points.
Yeah,
or fight for a submission.
Because the idea is when you take someone down or whatever, and when you control them, in a street fight, I say you kind of give yourself like points. You're in control, so like something can happen to help you out and get you out of the situation, kind of.
Right, but in the tournament, you have submissions and you have points. You have advantages and you have penalties.
Right.
Right? So if on a takedown, that's 2 points, right? If I pass your guard, that's 3 points. If I get knee on belly, that's another 2 points. If I get mount, that's 4 points. Back mount, 4 points, right? See how that points are adding up based on positions. So if you're rolling around and I get my hooks in on back control, that's 4 points. You flip over, and now I mounted you, that's another 4 points. So in the matter of a takedown and 2 positions, that's 10 points. Right? So does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what I always tell people is, listen, work on your submissions. If the submission's there, take it. Don't risk it if you don't have the position. Like if you don't have the control, don't fire for the submission because chances are you're going to miss the submission and you're going to put yourself in a bad position. So we always say position before submission. Make sure you have good, solid control before you go for that arm bar, that lapel choke, that wrist lock, that Kimura, whatever attack you're going to do, make sure you have good position. So what I always tell people is focus on the points game. Focus on making the positional points. Takedown, side control, passing the guard, knee on belly, right? Mount, back mount, right? Focus on that. Focus on getting points on the board. Now you have points on the board. So let's say the clock runs out. Who wins?
You win.
Let's say you don't focus on the points and you're only going for submissions.
Yeah, you fucked.
And the clock runs out.
Yeah. What's the
right?
average
So
point?
does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So don't just focus solely on submissions. Focus on the points game and look for the submission. Like if I'm there and I got you in side control and you're framing up and I catch a wrist lock and boom, I wrist lock you. That's good.
Yeah.
I already made my points and I found the submission. So that's the strategy.
Huh.
Points wins fights.
What's the average point in a fight?
Oh, there's no average.
It
can be 2 points to
what's the most you've seen?
in the 20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did you have on the recent one that you did?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know.
What do you like most about competing?
That's a good question.
I know she's good.
That's a good question. Well, there's a lot of things I like about competing.
She's good with questions.
So, one of the number one things I like about competing is it's very primal.
Oh yeah, I see that.
It's primal, man. It's you and him, and that's it.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be?
And then it's the last one that you cannot talk shit.
Who's it gonna be?
Yeah.
It's as primal as it gets, man. And that's why I fucking
That's
love
true.
it. It's just raw.
Yeah.
So, but one of the other things that and a few other things that I love is it really puts into perspective where your skill set is. Because you remember we talked on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about that Kruger effect.
Yeah.
I forget the first thing, but if you look it up, something Kruger effect.
Yeah,
right?
the Kruger effect.
Right.
So
We have in our mind, everybody does. We have in our mind that we're better. We think that we're better than we really are.
Yeah.
Right? We have this misconception, because the mind plays tricks on you, that you are above your skill set. So when you go into competition, right, especially for the first time, you think that you're at some level of jiu-jitsu, MMA, whatever it is that you're doing. And then when you get out there, reality hits you.
Yeah, because you don't have any feedback.
Reality hits you. It puts you
yeah.
in. It puts your skills into perspective, and you'll know exactly where you are. You'll know exactly where you are, not only skill set wise, but your ability to control your emotions. And that's the big thing. So as you start to compete, you start to be able to control the adrenaline, and you start to be able to control your emotions. That's the biggest takeaway. So now when I go out and I compete, I'm not all like,
You're cool about it.
I'm cool about it. Right? I go out there, I'm ready for war. Whereas in the past, when you're a beginner competitor, you're nervous. You go out there, you fucking totally forget you even know jiu-jitsu, right? You know, that first contact, you're like, oh my God, right? Like, fuck. Like, guy takes you down, he chokes you out in like 30 seconds. I mean, it's very humbling. So for me, it's the primal aspect and the reality. It brings everything into perspective of your skill set and the ability to control your emotions.
Fuck. I kind of want to do it now.
And it's always, for me, it's always a competition against myself. I have the opponent there, but I'm always
Trying to get better.
Like, it's always a competition for me. Like, I want to see, have I progressed? Right?
Yeah, because...
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
You're testing your reality.
I'm always testing my skills and my reality, and that's why I do it. Like, and that's why I did this smaller tournament. I always jump in the smaller ones here and there, in between the IBJJF ones, just to stay fresh, just to make sure that I'm where I need to be for when I go there.
How do you get that to that level? Do you need to qualify for
No,
something?
you just sign up and go.
Oh, you just...
Yeah, but the level of competition, is fierce. It's fierce. You get the local tournaments, but you go IBJJF and there, it's fierce. It's fierce. You got some killers in there, man.
Who's the top guy now in...
If you ask me who's my number one top guy, would be Gordon Ryan.
Oh yeah, I know him.
He's the man.
Why though? What's
He's just amazing, man.
Because I see he kind of taps everybody.
He's an amazing no-gi player. His professor's John Danner. But if you notice something about Gordon, he's very humble.
He looks cool too with the white beard.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the long hair.
He's you know, there's a guy right there that knows his shit and doesn't need to tell anybody. Like, you just know that he knows his shit. And he will predict, and he's done it time and time again, how he will end that fight.
No way.
He just did it to the last guy. So he's a force to be reckoned with, man. He's the number one best grappler in the world right now.
How big is he?
He's over 200.
Oh, so
He's a big guy, yeah.
so heavyweight.
Yeah.
Huh.
So would you say that fighting, because I definitely feel this way, and it's good to hear it from someone who's more experienced,
Yeah.
is more mental than physical?
I wouldn't say that,
No. Why?
but mental has a lot to do with it.
Because
like-
you can only push your physical limits so far, and then if you have like mental, like emotional control or mental strength, right, you can
right.
push your body even further.
Yes. I see. Yeah. So they go hand in hand, and it comes down to almost like the mind-body connection, right?
So the mental comes first then.
Yes, the mental preparation would come first. Absolutely. You know, there's strategy and everything. So when we're talking about like competing in jiu-jitsu, you know, there's times to use strength. There's times to use technique. There's time to explode. There's time to rest, right? And if you have your emotions under control, you'll be able to do that in combat, in a live fight like that, right? You'll know, like, hey, man, now it's go time. Now it's chill time for a second. Let me get my breathing back. Let me get my heart rate down a little bit.
Because you're in a good position.
Good
you can
position,
control, you
right?
can
So
take your
that's
time.
all strategy. It's all mind-body connection. It's all, a lot of it is mental. Yes.
It's so cool that it seems to apply to almost everything now. If you can't see it, or if you cannot conceive that maybe you can do it, or maybe you know how to do this, or anything, or you don't have control over yourself to be able to do the thing, then you can do it.
It's just like in life.
It's wild that it applies to. It does apply to a bunch of things.
Of course. Mindset's
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest things is the ability to manage stress, man. Like, so as you start to train more and more and more, and you're put in these positions where you think you're going to fucking die, and then you're able to come out of that position alive, right? When you're dealing with the day-to-day bullshit, with business, with family problems, whatever it is, you're going to be able to manage that a whole lot better, because that stress is not going to really affect you the way it used to affect you, right? Because you've been put in these positions time and time again where you think that you're going to die, where you think you can't go any further, and then you realize you have a whole lot more in the tank, right? So that's how that translates over to the stress management side, right? And that's why it's huge for police officers and people that are in these professions of high stress to study jiu-jitsu, because it's going to help them manage the stresses of the job a whole lot better. If you take an average officer and an officer that trains proficiently in jiu-jitsu, and you put them on a scene that's a chaotic scene, you're going to see that the officer that doesn't train jiu-jitsu doesn't have as good coping skills as the guy that does train jiu-jitsu. He might escalate where the guy that trains proficiently might keep his cool and de-escalate. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Are there a study on that? Like, is there?
Yeah, it's been out, man. We've been driving and pushing hard with jiu-jitsu for law enforcement. You know, I have a good friend that has a pretty big company. He's going around the country now. He's training some local guys. We've been starting jiu-jitsu clubs.
Because it seems that
trying to
more
get them
training
into
would
it.
be better than less training.
Yeah.
It seems logical to me that it should be something that you always train, right? Because you have to train for what you need to do for a life situation when you need to prepare.
Well, I want you to think of this. We're talking about the police, right? So let's take an officer that doesn't train and an officer that does train, and we put them in some sort of a combat situation, hand-to-hand combat, and the person that doesn't train, or the officer that doesn't train, gets taken down by a suspect, and now they're in some sort of a grappling match, or maybe the suspect's on top of them trying to punch them. and then you take the officer that's proficient in jiu-jitsu, and the same scenario happens, right? So we're looking at both sides now, right? We're looking at the guy that doesn't train, the officer that doesn't train, compared to the officer that does train. What's the difference going to be? The difference is that this officer, because he hasn't been put under the stressful conditions time and time again that jiu-jitsu does for you, might prematurely do something, right? He might panic. She might panic, he or she. They might prematurely go for their firearm, right? You just don't know what's going to happen because they've never been put in those situations. They have not been is it inoculated or indoctrinated? One of the two, right? They have not been inoculated to that stress. So they are, at this point, more liable to overreact and prematurely go for their firearm or their taser. Now we look at the guy that trains, the officer that trains jiu-jitsu, right? What is he going to do? He's been in this position time and time again. What is he going to do? He's going to know how to get out of it. He's not going to panic. He's going to probably sweep the guy, roll him over, take positional control. If he has to land a few strikes to cause a pause in combat, that's fine. They're allowed to do that. And then hopefully backup arrives at that point, or other officers are on scene to assist him to put the guy into custody.
Right.
See how it plays out differently, right?
Or at least he has more chance to be able to do that without having to use too much force.
Correct.
At least.
De-escalating again.
Yeah.
De-escalating.
It wouldn't make sense. I never understood the.
And you'll also see a lot of the times the people that are on scene maybe causing the commotion or that are in the crowd. Maybe somebody has information they want to give. For an officer that is confident, not cocky, an officer that is confident, that trains in jiu-jitsu, that is able to compose themselves and have the command presence, right? You'll see that those people will gravitate more towards that officer rather than the officer that does. They just pick up on the energy, man.
It's trusting.
They can see it. People can sense it. They can feel it, right? Because of the confidence, the command presence. Whereas maybe the officer that doesn't train, you kind of say, can this guy really even handle him? I mean, this is how people think, man. People are constantly sizing you up. So
less assertive, you mean, maybe.
Less assertive, less command presence, maybe escalating instead of de-escalating, right? So these are the things that we see.
Police officer escalating a situation is not a good sign.
Listen, we can't sit here and all situations are different, and sometimes you do escalate. It just depends on the situation, but you try your best to de-escalate.
Okay, so what
I'm saying is jiu-jitsu is a great management tool for that, especially for law enforcement, because it's going to build a confident officer. They'll be able to manage the stress of, hey, my neighbor's calling me names and they want to fight each other, right? I mean, these are the bullshit calls that they go to. So all the way up to, high intensity calls.
Who should handle the bullshit call that you guys have? Can we talk about that or no?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Like, so you were telling me the other day that most of the day-to-day was you responding to bullshit call, like the argument or things like that, or people with
mental health
that we all have this it seems like every city has this problem now.
It's a huge problem.
It's a huge problem. So, and you were saying it takes majority of your time, right?
Yeah.
How does that work? How can you be productive in doing the other stuff? Like, is that supposed to be your job now? You just have to deal with the crazy people. How does that work?
Well, listen, I mean, the people that are coming in contact with the police are not your everyday average citizen.
No.
Right? This is a small percentage of people.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about criminals and we're talking about mental health.
Yeah, because you're trying to regulate the few percent.
The normal people that we're coming into contact with is probably going to be on some type of a disturbance or some type of a domestic dispute, right? But for the majority of it, you're dealing with people that don't like to follow the law, people that just do what the hell they want to do, and mental health, right? So, and it's huge, man. The homeless, the mental health problem, it's a huge issue, you know, and this we can do another podcast about that. It's just that these people are medicated and they are sent out onto the street. And who is left to deal with them? The police. You know, you get a phone, you get a call on 911. Hey, man, is this guy hanging out? He's in the middle of traffic, and he's dancing, and he's trying to pull on door handles, right? So what's going through your mind? All right, he's we say signal 20. He's mentally there's some type of mental crisis going on, right? Or he's on drugs, right? And maybe he's going through what we call excited delirium, right? Where his body's overheating. He took too much. Maybe he's on bath salts. Maybe he's on cocaine. I mean, you just don't know, right? Who's left to deal with that?
So
The police are, huh?
Typically, you're
The police,
one that's called.
yeah. Or the guy that's in front of the store at the gas station, and he's accosting people.
How do you handle
Right.
that?
You know, that's homeless panhandlers, right? How do you deal with those people?
How would you?
You got constant calls that, you know, this person wants to jump off the bridge. They're walking towards the bridge now and they're going to jump off. Or he wants to kill himself, or she wants to kill himself, or they just took a bunch of pills, right? Who's left to deal with that? Who responds to that? The police. So not only are you a police officer, but you're a therapist, you're a psychologist, right? You're a leader, you're a mentor, lots of hats that you wear.
I must have.
But as far as the mental health crisis, it's bad, man. It's bad. So, you know, and what do? You Baker Act them. That's what you do.
What's that?
You put them under a law enforcement Baker Act, and you take them to a psychiatric facility to get.
You think that was the mistake when we
get evaluated? And that's a lot of that's a revolving door too, man. Same people, in and out. Either they ran out of their meds, or they're going through a crisis again. You know, so
there must be a better
and
way
it's dangerous.
to do this. Like,
it's dangerous because people are very, very unpredictable. Very unpredictable, especially people that have mental health issues. Extremely unpredictable. So you have to be very careful.
Do you see like any solutions that are out there right now, or anything that you're hearing about that people are doing to help fix it? Is it always
how do
gonna
we
be a
fix
police?
that?
Yeah.
You know,
what's even the?
I would say right now the way the system is, just based on my experience, and I'm not going to say it's like this nationwide. I'm going to say from where I worked.
Your personal, yeah.
And from my personal experience, if they reopened state hospitals, and put the people that really needed to not be on the street but did not deserve to be in jail, that would be the best option. Because you can't just medicate people and throw them on the street. And that's what's pretty much happening now. They medicate people, say, hey, take your meds. You think they're going to take their meds?
No.
They're not. And now you have schizophrenic, you have bipolar, you have all kinds of disorders. And it's dangerous, man.
No, because you ask them as if they were able to do that. Like, if they have issues, they have issues. They can't have the discipline to do that sometimes.
Right. So and what's the substitute for that? They have group homes. Like you'll see in a lot of the low poverty, low income areas, poverty stricken areas. They have group homes. So you get a call to this house, and it's a house with a bunch of rooms, but it's pretty much mental health clients that are living in there.
Really?
Some of them are court ordered to be there. So that's kind of like a buffer in between, but it's still not enough.
Wait,
so they're being distributed their medications in some sort of way, right? But a lot of them leave, walk out,
yeah,
and you're dealing with them again. So, So if we can reopen some state hospitals and really get the people that really need to be in there but shouldn't be in jail, I think that would help. I think that would put a dent in the problem. Absolutely.
Why did we close that?
I don't know.
When was? Can you check when we closed the state hospital for that? Because it was the same thing in Canada. I think we closed them all, and I think that's how the homeless problem came across, like everywhere at the same time.
Yeah, so a lot of homeless, and when you're dealing with homeless, I know a lot of people feel bad, and it's humane to feel bad.
Oh, it's the worst.
That's a good feeling to have, because you're You're a humanitarian.
Do you feel like
But
we
don't-
fail
but
them
don't-
like every time you see one?
No, but don't let your feelings cloud your judgment. A lot of them have mental health issues. I'm not saying all. A lot of them have mental health issues, and a lot of them are very unpredictable. And a lot of them carry weapons, from knives to blades to needles. So you have to be very careful, you know, especially like letting them in your car and taking them to a show. I mean, you don't want to be doing that,
No.
you know, but people do it. People are like, oh, okay, yeah, here, come in my car with my kids, and yeah, we'll take it to the shelter. No, don't do that. Don't do that. There's resources.
That's dangerous for you.
Absolutely. You're putting yourself in a very precarious situation.
No, but what I mean
So what I'm saying is don't let your feelings cloud your judgment.
absolutely.
Feel bad, that's fine. But don't make shitty decisions
Yes.
because you're dealing with very unpredictable people.
Yes. No, I agree. I agree. What I was saying is as I feel like it bugs me when I see those guys or those women's majority guys, and I feel like as a society, as a gang, as a group, we kind of failed. Like there's some of us that are they haven't been dealt the right cards or whatever, and then for some reason they ended up there, and then we have like nothing. We have no solution.
It's a double-edged sword, man, because, you know, there are solutions. But if we're talking about the homeless, and I'll give you a prime example, and it's back to what I was saying. Yeah, we feel bad. We want to help, right? But if we're constantly bringing them food and giving them clothes and giving them resources, what is the initiative for them to change?
And the incentives is to stay there.
The incentive is for them to stay there because they know every Tuesday they're going to get 5-star treatment, right? They're going to get food and new clothes. And so, I mean, what is the benefit to changing?
Yeah, it's so
So,
true.
you know, it's not all of them, but a lot work the system, right? It's more comfortable. It's easy.
Well, it's
I know I'm going to eat because I have a shelter right there. I know I'm going to shower because I can go there. I know that on Tuesdays they're going to bring me breakfast and new shoes and socks, right? So, right, it has to be both ways.
And then these people don't care if it's just like a few times, like a week or something that they change or they shower.
They don't care, man.
They don't care.
No. So it has to be on both sides. It has to be less enabling. Let's not enable so much. And let's put in motion a way to really help these people. Get them stabilized. Get them into housing. Get them in, have a roof over their head, right? Or get them into an institution. A lot of them should be institutionalized. At least the ones that I've dealt with.
Seems a little bit like a little bit more of tough love is.
I think tough love would go.
The kind of solution that
It would be part of the solution. Yeah, I think the enabling has to stop on some degree.
It's wild that it
Because
seems
it's just like anything. You know, it's just like an animal, man. You put out milk for a cat, right? Or food for a dog. Or food for a wild animal. What's their reason to hunt? If they know that they could come here every day and eat.
That's not saying that these people.
I'm
are
not
animals.
saying that, right? I'm just giving an example, right?
Yeah.
Of the enabling. I'm enabling this.
Yeah, because we follow
being
incentives.
to come here every single day to eat. So what is the initiative to get up and get a fucking job? Just like the bear. What's the initiative to go out and hunt where I know I could just ransack somebody's fucking camp that's camping and they got all this food cooking.
Yeah.
Right? Makes
No,
sense.
it makes
It's
sense.
the same shit, man. It's I mean we're all, you know, I know people's feelings are very sensitive. I'm not animalizing people. What I'm saying is the enabling aspect. If we constantly enable, there's no initiative to do what you got to do to survive.
Where do you draw the line, though?
As far as what?
As far as the level of help that we should provide, like those guys or whatever, like because right now it seems like we're doing too much. This is my I think it's too easy to be out or whatever. Does that make sense? Or
I think, like I said, I think there needs to be more focus on stabilizing than enabling. It's a huge difference. Because I could come and feed you every day, but what is that doing for you?
Well,
That's just getting you fed.
Keeps me on the street.
And it keeps you on the street because you know if you're here every day, you're going to eat.
Yeah.
So where's the initiative for you to take it upon yourself, or at least get guidance to go in the right direction? It's not going to happen. So we need to do less enabling, more stabilization. Let's look at these people. Let's get their story. Let's find out who they are, what they're about, what are their issues, what are the meds that they're on. Should they even be on the street? Are they even qualified mentally to live on their own? Right? Are they qualified mentally to be in housing or some sort of government assistance, or their mental capacity is so far gone that they should be institutionalized? The evaluations need to happen. You can't just take a bunch of people, medicate them, and throw them on the street, and then let resources enable them to stay there. That's pretty much what's happening. That's what I've seen. So there has to be, like I said, less enabling, more geared towards stabilization. Let's get them off the street. Let's get them a roof over their head, or let's get them into an institution where they should be. Some of them.
Do you have, are there plans to bring people onto the force that are conducting some of those, or do you feel like that should sit with a different part of the city?
I think that I think it's both between the private organizations and the local police departments. You know, there has to be a cohesion there, a team effort. Yeah.
Who's evaluating the mental capacity of those person?
I mean, I don't know, and I'm not going to speak of things that I don't know. What I can tell you is that when a person is in a mental health crisis and a police officer responds and does the initial evaluation, that initial evaluation is to determine, is this person a danger to themselves or a danger to others, right? Are they capable of taking care of themselves, or can they not, right? Because to Baker Act somebody doesn't necessarily mean that they are mentally ill. It can be somebody that is just totally incapable of even taking care of themselves, right? And they just need the
support,
the catalyst to get the next level of care and evaluation, and that's where law enforcement comes in. So law enforcement's doing a great job because they go out, they make contact with this person, they do the initial evaluation, and then we determine, all right, is this person good to go, or do we need to take them to the next level of care? So at that point, that's when you make that decision. So let's say, all right, I've figured out that you're probably a danger to yourself and the public. You haven't taken your meds. You're speaking things that aren't making sense. You don't know what day it is. You don't know who the president is. You don't even know what year it is, right? Yeah, I think you need to go.
That's when you determine
get evaluated, right? So then we'd put them into custody. We'd take them to the hospital, and then we would put them into the psych section of the hospital, and then that's where they would be evaluated by a doctor. And then that doctor would make the decision. Either they need the next level of care, psychological care, or they're free to go. I mean, at that point, it's on the doctors. So they're the professionals at that point. We do the initial contact. Once they go there, the doctors make the decision from that point. That's what they specialize in.
Do you know any of the decision process for the doctor to escalate more, or you don't know anything?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I'm assuming it's based on the history of the client. It's based on the diagnosis, you know, what the person has been diagnosed with, what meds are they on, you know. They have all that information.
Is it a psychiatrist that is going to go in to evaluate those?
Most likely, yes.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Also, that's why I wanted to. There's a friend of mine in Quebec that we're going to talk to. It's that's what he does.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. Get the next part of the picture.
Huh?
Yeah.
Get the next part of the picture.
Well, that'd be cool, no?
Yeah. So that's kind of it, man. They'll go in, they'll be in there, and then they'll get evaluated, and then they decide what happens at that point. If they decide that they need the next level of care, then they'll be moved to another branch of the psychiatric stabilization area for however long they deem necessary. And then from that point, then they decide what they're going to do. Are they going to put them back out on the street, medicate them? Are they going to put them in some sort of a group home? I mean, at that point,
You don't know how that works.
We don't know, because pretty much the law enforcement's job is to evaluate, make sure that they fit the criteria,
Right.
and get them to the next level of care. After that, that's it.
After that, you see them on the street.
We'll see them again in a few days. That's, like I said, it's a revolving door. So that's why there needs to be some sort of stabilization.
So then the step further, there's something that it should happen is not happening to take care of those people so they're not on the street then. So then there must be some sort of incentives that the psychiatrists have, or that the hospital have, or whatever the next step is.
I don't know.
That is not happening. How is that working? How is that, because you bring them to the place that's supposed to take care of them and help and figure it out, like, what they need, right? And then
I mean, they get them stabilized, right? They get them stabilized.
yeah, but how does that?
But
What does that mean?
Then they're
Like,
put back out. Then they're put back to the same situation.
is it just the
And
end
then
of the high?
and then it happens again.
When you say to get them stabilized, are they just waiting for them to get down of the high? Like, how does that
some
work?
of them are off their medications, and some of them need to go in to get their meds, right? And then they'll get their meds again for another month, and then either they'll take them, or somewhere in between
They'll slip
then
up
and then they'll slip up and forget, and then they're back out on the street again, and they're in traffic, or they're doing some crazy shit, or they're calling and saying they want to kill themselves. This is what we deal with. So.
'Cause it does seems like it's increasing.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, it's out of control,
Seems like a big problem,
especially in the cities that have these issues,
which is every major city.
or small cities with big crime. Yeah,
Huh. Is it worse in small city with big crime, or like in a major city, like normal major city, like not Chicago or whatever, but like
I'm sure it's comparable all around the board. Yeah, obviously it's going to be on a larger scale in a bigger city, but I can guarantee you that police around the nation are dealing with the same issues, and they probably all have the same take on what's going on. There needs to be something that happens, man. Because
do you know
this
of
is
anyone
just
that
out of
has like
control
some
at this point.
nice proposition of solution of some sort of?
No, I mean, like I said, I mean, I would like to see the
Yeah, it said that like the reopening
of some institutions, man, to put people in there and get
Have
them
some
like
more water, maybe.
stabilized, or house them, give it, because some of them need to be under constant care. I mean, they should not be out on the street.
Yeah, I was reading that it was like within around the 50s or 60s they started deinstitutionalization. I'm not saying that right.
Thank
you.
Institutionalization.
Yes.
Was it because of like the lobotomies and all that?
More so from briefly what I saw was cost-cutting measures. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
came
that's
down to
fair
money,
if
man.
it's money if the resources aren't there, or if they can't pay the staff or the people that need to be trained to take care of these people. I mean, no one's there to pick up where it's slipping.
Yeah.
But where's the
it's not-
resources though?
But there's resources, man.
aren't
There's
we
state
sending more
funding. There's
money?
there's state funding. There's federal funding. There's nonprofits. I mean, for them to say it's a funding issue, the funding is there. I mean, they'll find the money. They find the money for everything else. So there just needs to be a movement. It has to be. It has to be interesting.
Well, at
it
least
has
if
to
we could-
catch the attention of people, and it needs to happen. I mean, I see it all the time. I mean, I was just coming down here. I get off the highway. There's a guy, man, side of the road. He's got mental health issues. He's on the side of the road. He's, it's sad.
Yeah, a friend of mine
It's very sad.
showed me one. Apparently, he's a popular guy in Fort Lauderdale. He's on a wheelchair and he's missing a limb or something.
Have
Want
some more water too.
Some more water, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Nice. Yeah, he was missing. He's on a wheelchair and he was missing a limb or something. He was missing a leg. And this guy, there's a video of him, and he's on the train track. And he's like, the train is coming. The guy is on the wheelchair on the train track. Apparently, that's how he lost his leg for some reason. And he's on the train track, and you see it on the video. He's fucking getting the right angle to not like get completely screwed up, but he get hit. The wheelchair get hit by the train on the side just a little bit, and then he he fell out. He just, for some reason, thought it was funny. He was just hanging out there. Buddy of mine show me that. Apparently, he's right here in Fort Lauderdale on Broward Boulevard.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, man.
Like, there's something wrong. Like, you cannot have
absolutely
your whole head. If you're on a wheelchair, that's how you lost your leg, and you're getting hit on purpose by the train.
Something's not right.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. Shouldn't be on the streets, man.
I don't want to, even in my car, I don't want to get hit by the train. Imagine no car.
Like I said before, I think we need to focus more on stabilizing, proper placement, and less on enabling. And I think that would start to really make an impact. And then, get these institutions back open, get the funding. The funding's there.
Where do you see that going, though? Do you think there could be an opportunity for the private sector to come in and
maybe
and partner up and operate those things?
Absolutely. There's always opportunity.
That could be interesting, no?
Yeah. Huh. Needs to happen though.
Yeah, because it's a problem.
It's a huge burden, man. It's not only a burden on the public, but it's a burden on local police departments. It's huge. It's huge. It's a huge issue. And for a while there, they're talking about, hey, let's have civilians respond to these calls. Remember that whole thing?
Idea,
it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. You're dealing with unpredictable people. It's not a good idea. Listen, I'm going to tell it how it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to a call because somebody is thinking about hurting themselves or others. Probably a call for the police to go to that has some level of training.
Yeah.
And has intermediate weapons and the ability to, control people. Obviously, there's times for other people to come in, but I would say upon first contact, it should always be the police because you just never know what's going to happen. It's too unpredictable. It's too unpredictable. That's a huge liability. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, me either. It's and then the most hilarious thing is seems like everywhere that promoted the defund the police things, now they have all of those problems and they have to increase funding into the police.
Hey, you can't fix stupid, man. That's my take on it. You can't fix stupid. So,
James, we've been talking for 2 hours. Should we wrap this up?
It's 2 hours already.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. What's the next? Because I know you have a little bit of a drive, so I don't want to keep you up too long.
I'm good, man.
It is fun. It's fun though. Like, let's do that again for sure.
Absolutely.
What's next with the business? Do you have other project coming up? Do you have other thing coming up? What's going on?
Just trying to scale right now with Jitz Life. That's the brand, Jitz Life brand. That's it, man. And trying to bring over the next year, I'm going to start trying to bring production to the States because right now I'm producing outside the United States, so I'd like to bring production to the United States. That way we have a U.S. made product, quality and quality pricing too. So that's the game plan for the next year.
Nice.
So we should hit that mark. Yeah. And in the meantime, go check it out.
Of course. What's your website? Where can we find you?
So it's my Shopify Jitz Life brand.
How do you spell it?
JITZLIFE.
Nice. We're gonna put the link and whatever.
Put the link
but it's just for people that listen.
And then for the firearms training, allamericanfirearmsacademy.com.
Nice.
Yeah, we should check that out.
Yeah.
I would actually very much like to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Some training.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we'll have a
thanks,
blast.
dude. It was a blast. It was very cool to get to talk to you and get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, I want to end with a little quote here.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
If you don't mind.
No, don't mind at all.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Is this a quote that you say often?
No. This is actually a poem from
Okay.
my buddy sent it to me and it inspired me.
In what way? I guess I'll see.
All right, you're gonna say
Shut the fuck up.
Never quit. I'm looking for out here. Let's see if I can get this up.
I'm really excited to go do the training.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, good challenge.
He sold it good.
So this is a. I'm not gonna tell you who it's by, but this is a.
Why not? It's a secret.
I'm gonna tell you after.
Okay, cool.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I will persist until I succeed. I was not delivered unto this world in defeat, nor does failure course in my veins. I am not a sheep waiting to be prodded by my shepherd. I am a lion, and I refuse to talk, to walk, to sleep with the sheep. I will hear not those who weep and complain, for their disease is contagious. Let them join the sheep. The slaughterhouse of failure is not my destiny. I will persist until I succeed. The prizes of life are at the end of each journey, not near the beginning, and it is not given to me to know how many steps are necessary in order to reach my goal. Failure I may still encounter at the 1,000th step, yet success hides behind the bend in the road. Never will I know how close it lies unless I turn the corner. Always will I take another step. If that is of no avail, I will take another and yet another. In truth, one step at a time is not too difficult. I will persist until I succeed. Henceforth, I will consider each day's effort as but one blow of my blade against a mighty oak. The first blow may cause not a tremor in the wood, nor the second, nor the third. Each blow of itself may be trifling and seem of no consequence. Yet from childish swipes, the oak will eventually tumble. So it will be with my efforts of today. I will be likened the raindrop which washes away the mountain, the ant who devours a tiger, the star which brightens the earth, the slave who builds a pyramid. I will build my castle, one brick at a time, for I know that small attempts repeated will complete any undertaking. I will persist until I succeed. I will never consider defeat, and I will remove from my vocabulary such words and phrases as quit, cannot, unable, impossible, out of the question, improbable, failure, unworkable, hopeless, and retreat. For they are the words of fools. I will avoid despair, but if the disease of the mind should infect me, then I will work on in despair. I will toil and I will endure. I will ignore the obstacles at my feet and keep mine eyes at the goals above my head. For I know that where the desert ends, green grass grows. I will persist until I succeed. Agmandino.
Yeah, that's good.
That's some powerful shit right there, man.
Yeah.
Gets me that shit gets me fired up, dog.
What you say to yourself in the morning.
That shit gets me fired up. Man.
Woo!
Yeah. Take
Damn.
that. Sleep on that.
That's good. I can say.
Yeah, man, I did that the other day. I did a TikTok on that, man, and yeah, it's pretty.
It's powerful.
It's pretty powerful shit. So my buddy sent that to me after a jiu-jitsu class. He sent it to me, and I was like, man,
That's
I gotta read this. I gotta put something out about this. So yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good words to live by.
absolutely.
Cool. All right.
So don't quit.
No.
Never.
I don't want to quit. I like this too much.
Don't quit on anything.
Nothing. Especially shit you believe in.
Well, yeah. If you don't believe in it, then quit. Fucking do something else. You know.
Oh man, pick out a before we end, pick out
Oh,
a shirt you
fucking
want. man.
Okay, cool.
Got a few in there for you.
I want the last straw one.
Let's see what other ones are in there.
Fucking hell. Okay, fine.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, there's the rash guard. Let me see the rash guard.
What?
Oh,
So
for
those,
like,
those are the MMA shorts.
Okay.
This is a samurai
Oh, fucking.
version, and then the rash guard is on the bottom.
Oh, this?
Yeah. So I make those. So it's belt rank. So this is the purple belt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you notice the belt. So if it's a blue belt, it would be blue. If it's
Across
white
the
belt,
bottom.
white.
Nobody
Black belt,
care.
black.
Oh, I kind of
Yeah.
like this one too. Nobody care works harder. Good fight. Dude's paid. Fuck.
That one's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Choices, man.
I'm gonna buy the samurai short store. Because I got a samurai gi, so I guess I'm gonna go samurai the whole thing.
Matching set.
We'll talk about it.
Nice. All right, cool. Well, let's wrap this up. Thanks, James.
Absolutely,
It was cool.
man.